Darlings, welcome back. Lovely to see you again. This week's video I'm reviewing Feynlab Rinseless. Now I need to say up front I got the dilution ratio wrong on this vehicle. I did it 500 to 1 instead of 250 to 1. So after this one, in the same video, I've got another vehicle at the correct dilution ratio as well. Alright, so here I'm going to see which application method works best for pre-soaking, or how much of a difference pre-soaking makes with Feynlab. I found with the ONR it was pretty good. I'm going to do half the roof with the pre-soak and half not, and pressure rinse it off and see what the difference is. Alright, much like it was in the ONR case, pre-rinsing has helped. Less of a difference on the glass, but still a bit. You can see that the water repellency here, that's of the Kosh Chemie protector wax, has come back up really quick. This side has not at all. That's still really flat. There's still quite a lot of dirt bonded on. It looks like the Feynlab's listed quite a lot, so that's really good. I'm going to pre-rinse the rest of the car, but I'm going to do a panel at a time. So I'm going to now pre-rinse, treat this bit, and then wash the roof and dry. Just going to say in the next bit, the audio isn't as clear as it could be because I didn't have my headset on, so apologies for that, but you get the gist. Right, it's wash phase now. You see I put another load, I pre-rinsed it again. Now I sprayed on more Feynlab, just a little bit, just to help lubricate it, and now I'm just going to do the wash. So, using a Car Pro pad, I have to look up there which one it is, can't remember. It is just dripping a little bit. Perfect. I'm going to work from the middle out. So, glide like that. And I can go back the other way. Okay, let's go out this way. And come back this way. Glass doesn't matter as much. Okay. Looking pretty clean, which is good. A little bit of bonded on there. I have to get that little rubber. Like stain, could be like a pollen stain or something. I'll go over and do this bit now. Then I'll rinse the mitt. Again, this is glass, so I don't have to be quite as concerned about rinsing out the mitt. At that point, it's not going to mar. I'm going to do the whole part of the glass bit first, without rinsing the mitt out, and then come back on that paint. There we go, right, rinse that. Load it back up again. Okay, load it back up again. We go this way. This way. This way. And then just up a bit up here, didn't I? Yeah, so work that. That's come off nicely now. There's a bit of sap up here which has never come off, so that's okay. Now I'm just going to do this rear. Spoiler, boot lid, what do you want to call it? Slip over, go back the other way. One last little bit there, so let's go an edge. And then just under. It's on the glass there, so it doesn't matter. Cool. Rinse. Soaking that to load back up again. But of course now I have to dry. And I'm doing this in direct sunlight here. Well, half the car, isn't it? About 20 degrees ambient. Now, kind of like this drying towel wasn't like primed, twisted loop. It wasn't primed. This panel is kind of priming it. In a way, it should have started on the glass on the roof. If you got it, because it will kind of, it won't mar. It will make the cloth a little bit more absorbent. go. There we go. Right. Pretty good, pretty glossy. Happy with that. Now we can come on to the bumper. Or the rear bit. Right, out and out cleaning's going fine, but I need to pre-rinse the whole car first rather than doing panel by panel. That's causing me problematic bits because I'm spraying up water on some stuff I've already dried. I'm using DI water, it won't water spot, but this stuff reactivates when you wipe over it anyway, so I don't need to worry about that drying up. Yeah, anyway, you see, getting loads of pine needles dropping down out of the sky at the moment as well, so a good way to actually use this for rinseless is, you dry it and your panel's done even though it gets something on it afterwards. But now I'm going to pre-soak the rest of the vehicle and get on. Right, to pre-soak this side of the car and then do the wash. I'm trying to do like strokes, all in one go, in one movement, so let's have a look. About 3 litres of the wash solution decanted into the Maralex sprayer here for the whole job, for the pre-wash as well. Well, about 1.2 litres left. Not too bad, bear in mind pre-wash the whole car and wash some of it. Okay, so one trip done. Gonna do the paint first. Now, that might be too long a stroke. It feels like it should be. I think panel at a time is probably the best way. Here. Play that. Now I've got one more go there and that's it. So that's 2 passes on each side. I don't want to do that lowest section. Do this in shot so you can see. Don't want to do that lowest section yet. I'm going to do that last. Dirtiest bit, right? So. I think I've got far too much liquid in it this time. Got to turn the pad. Let's roll there. Really lubricated. It should be if it's running out like that though. Yeah, right, rinse. Quick pass now, squeeze that a bit more, that's better. All the way across in one. And do another pass just all the way back. Then the other way, rolling off. There's this bottom bit here. There we go. I had an idea. See, that's the bottom part, right? That's where most of the dirt lives. I had an idea that I would actually just use the Viking soft brush on the plastics on the bottom. I might do that on the other side. Then I don't get all this crowded up. That said, it's released pretty nicely from the pad. It was this bit here. So that's good. Right, now, oh, let me do the glass. So that's nowhere near as wet this time, but for the glass, it doesn't matter as much. Right, rinse. And now to dry. So Matt described the behaviour of this as it's like it flashes off like a pan wipe, and he's absolutely right. When you're drying it, it's just like it, you know when you're cleaning your windows, it just feels like that's what it is. It's just, you wipe it off, get the excess off, and then it evaporates. It's very nice. It's very slick. Not bad. One at a time. Okay then, I'm back. Got the right ratios, it's all good. So, this time I've diluted or made up 15 litres of wash solution, 3 of which have gone into my Marilex 3000 pump sprayer, and then the other 12 are in the wash bucket. Okay, that at its correct dilution ratio is 60 ml to 15 litres, which is 2 fluid ounces. Okay. I only did it 1 ml. Sorry, 1 fluid ounce before. Got a bit confused. So, and it's all based off US gallons, of course, rather than UK gallons. So it's 3.7 litres per gallon rather than 4.5. Not only are they difficult, they use the wrong measuring system. The measures they use aren't even consistent because they don't equate to the same thing. Okay, so this is going to be a good test, right? Direct sunlight. I've shifted off a lot of the loose debris and detritus at the top, so that's perfect. Now it's just time to rinse, well, wash and dry. So I'm going to work one panel at a time, top to bottom. Now I've got this at the right dilution. Squeeze this out, right? Just dripping when you squeeze. Yep. I found it a lot slicker, which is good. Come back one, there we go. Roll off, flip the pad, go back one this way. Same pad, but lifting and rolling off that way. Okay. The roof is obviously going to be the real acid test, and that's what I'm going to do after this. Yeah, it's properly slick.
Come back with the same pad, but rolling, same side, but rolling off the other way. Flip the pad over, and rolling off this way, around onto the lights. Same way up, same side, and yeah, it's rolling off. Okay. So there's just fresh water in the rinse bucket, but obviously the more you rinse into it, the cleaner it gets. So we can go back here, one pass, roll it off, around. Same side of the pad. Sorry, it's kind of like more talking to myself to make sure I do it correctly. Okay. Go in there. Now, this panel is still wet. We've got about 27 degrees ambient at the moment. So it's clean. It doesn't feel as slick when you're wiping off as ONR did. Maybe maybe I could have primed it with it. I found this didn't make a particularly good QD. It's a very good soap, but not particularly good QD. Anyway, that bit's done now. Right. So next panel. So yeah, you could still do it in conjunction with ONR. You know, you could be like, oh, actually, I'm going to use ONR as the QD, the drying aid, whatever you want on that side of things. Up to you, really. I think, whatever your preference is. That's it. It's just funny the balance how to use it. If you were just from a washing perspective, purely from a washing perspective, this is better. It doesn't leave anything behind. There's no residue. It's just a very good washing approach. And it is slick. It is really, really slick. It's just because ONR's got the polymers in it, it leaves something behind. It's slicker when you're drying, I would say. But as the pad dampens up, sorry, as the towel that dampens up, that will probably get better. So that's what we're going to kind of see. Go back here, off there, and then just one last wipe down there. Cool. And like, does this drop the dirt out of it as much as the ONR does? Because that's one of the things ONR does very, very well. Drops the dirt down. It's still very wet, which is staying very wet. The panel, it's not drying out super quickly, and if that's good, because it means it doesn't leave streaks. In my bucket, I've got DI water. I can bring you in a bit closer here so you can kind of see the A-pillar because it's dark and it shows the mark on it. You see what you think. Here we go. So you can see this, like, just when you squeeze it a bit comes out, then you know you're in the right path. All right. Give that 2 bits going over, just because the glass doesn't matter about turning the pad. Okay, it's harder than paint. Flip the pad over a different side now. I'll have one more swipe through and round. Need to rinse this out in a sec. So the black bit obviously is, black bit of plastic here is the hottest bit on this car really at the moment. Let's keep an eye on that, see how it dries out in this. Kind of overcast but warm. Rinse that in there thoroughly. Right, let's come and do a bit of drying, shall we? It's like it's dried quite a lot already, isn't it? Let's wipe down on it then. Hasn't left any residue I can see, and it looks clean. Impressive, still a bit of a mark there. Some of those things you just think, yeah, well, it's a rinseless wash. I'm not scrubbing as hard. You could though, you could scrub with it. You know, just localized. You could do, if you had a really stubborn bit, you could do 4 passes with just one bit of the cloth, right? Go one way backwards to keep flipping it. So you could do that. All right, then. So I've gone round and pre-soaked the rest of the vehicle. So I'm going to go and rinse all that off in a minute, but while that's being rinsed off, I should go and pre-soak the roof. So I do like the concept of rinseless, like it works well for me. It's especially interesting, like given all the water shortages. So let's say we've had this hottest day of the year ever in the UK, right? And then you've got water companies telling you, because it hasn't rained for ever, it feels like, which is the people in Arizona probably go, you don't know what you're talking about. That you need to use less water. Fine, that sounds like a very sensible thing to me personally. I have no problems with that. It feels like there's quite a lot left on there. Might be something for a second pass. Let's have a little look. And let's be honest here, I could be pushing the limit of what this what a rinseless wash can do. Sometimes there is no replacement for a good solid contact wash. This isn't bad, I tell you. There we go, right. What's there? Yeah, that feels a lot better. So 2 passes there. I'm not surprised because the actual I don't think I've washed the van for 3 months. I've been very busy. Very busy. But if you did this where I got a good like decon wash before, and then you were just maintaining it every week, every couple of weeks with this, yeah, this would work for sure. So let's talk about the rinseless wash then. Now I've got it at the full concentration. Is it better? Yeah. Is it noticeably slicker than when I had it at half concentration? Yes. Does it seem to be cleaning any better? I don't think so. But I think I'm definitely got a much lower chance of inflicting any marring, which I think is critically important, isn't it, when you're doing these things? That's kind of like the yardstick for me. If you were on top of it, how do I think it compares to ONR? That's really the question we're trying to ask, isn't it? Yeah, I think this cleans better. I think if you had a dirtier vehicle, the Feynlab Rinseless is nicer. If it's a well-maintained vehicle, I think I'd probably lean towards the ONR because it's a more pleasant use. I think. Obviously, I need to do more experimentation with it. But that's where I'm standing at the moment. This is dirty at the moment. It is still probably beyond, kind of like you're really pushing a rinseless wash, I would say here, to its limits of what it can actually do. But it's good. It is doing a bloody good job. I mean, this is in like direct sunlight, and which is like clearly not ideal washing conditions in anyone's book. And it's doing a good job. I can't knock it. It's not drying out, it's not leaving streaks. The 12 litres that I've mixed up seem pretty good. So yeah, I'm not sure if you like these like longer form vloggy style things. It's probably the only way for me to make this sort of content, I think anyway, rather than some like slick, overproduced marketing video almost. I feel like this is a better way. Yeah, definitely going to need another run on that. So, one last run on this roof. Ooh, that's a bit too much. A dry, and then some conclusions. Or have I already concluded? I don't know. So the other thing I use Feynlab for a lot is the removal of polishes, because it's absolutely mega for that. That's Matt at Obsidian put me onto that one. Brilliant. So it's a useful product. I have it in the arsenal anyway. I don't see it being bad for this at all. Look at that, it looks pretty clean. Feels pretty clean after those 2 passes on the boot. That worked on the roof, sorry, that worked out well. So yeah, give it a go. I would. It's definitely not bad. Is it better than ONR? It's a better cleaner. I think it's got more detergent power. But I wonder for overall just quick maintenance washes, probably think ONR has the edge of it for me. So next, one more to test, and that's Wolfgang. That was recommended to me. So Wolfgang's Rinseless wash. There are tons of other ones out there. I know I'm only trying those 3. So ONR, Feynlab, and Wolfgang. Wolfgang and ONR seem to be purportedly very similar in terms of outlook and approach to the product. So if the Wolfgang performance is better, they could go for that. One of the biggest, it's the most strongest. You can have it's like 1 to 300 rather than 1 to 250 as a dilution, so you get a bit more out of it. One of the biggest benefits of ONR though is they sell it in gallon jugs, so you can buy a lot more product in one go, and you can't do that with Feynlab. I think you buy it in litres or halves. Quarters, so it's 250 ml or a litre. And Wolfgang is a smaller container as well. I think it might be like 47 or 463 ml, something like that. Yeah, that definitely has something to do with it as well, doesn't it, right? So yeah, food for thought. Anyway, thanks very much for watching this, another vloggy style one. There'll be one more vloggy style rinseless video, and that should be it. Thanks very much. I'll see you in the next one.